There's no doubt that DMZ is going to change a lot of things about the future of Call of Duty, zombies being one of them. And in this video, I'm going to discuss what I believe DMZ is going to do for the future of the zombies mode and talk about how Treyarch are going to incorporate this mode in their own Black Ops game in 2024. So regardless if you have an interest in DMZ or not, hopefully you'll find this video as a really interesting discussion. Let's jump straight into it, but I'd love to know your thoughts about this in the comments section below. Now, you're probably wondering straight away, how on earth does DMZ and the future of zombies mode connect? Well, if we take ourselves back a few years to when Warzone 1 released and quite frankly changed Call of Duty forever. Now, it wasn't the first time the concept of Battle Royale was in a main Call of Duty game, but it was the fact that it was a free-to-play version, opening the floodgates to tens of millions of players that wouldn't have necessarily bought the full game. Ever since Warzone dropped, every future Call of Duty game has had to release a monster amount of content to support Warzone with a different time period, including new Warzone maps, all the operators, and the entire game's weapons. It's like they have to develop two games every Call of Duty game, one the main game and then Warzone. But this year things are very different, as Warzone 2 isn't the only free-to-play component of the game, but we also have DMZ mode. And the mode has seen a lot of success since its launch in November, and it marks the first time that Call of Duty have ever tried to have a extraction looter shooter mode, with this genre having huge popularity and being pretty new, just like Battle Royale was many years ago. It seems very likely that Activision will double down on this mode and continue its life beyond Modern Warfare 2 into Black Ops 2024, where it could be transformed into a full Black Ops experience with multiple maps all themed around Black Ops and evolving this mode even more. Now, not only is this mode absolutely fantastic in my opinion, but also the fact that it is free is a testament to why it's been so successful. But let's compare the approach that DMZ has had to a mode that Treyarch released during Black Ops Cold War's year, a mode that was truly unique for the Call of Duty series and something that Treyarch are 1,000,000% creating in their next game, as it was in a leaked job listing, has the potential to be expanded upon massively, is Outbreak, the large-scale zombies experience. Now, immediately, you can see that there are similarities between DMZ and Outbreak, with the fact that they are both large-scale open world experiences. For Treyarch, Outbreak was really an experiment that they've been wanting to do for years and years to finally deliver an open world zombies experience, and it was zombies on a massive scale, with a play limit of up to 4 players and these maps being fairly big but definitely nowhere near as big as what we see in DMZ, limited the amount of potential that the mode had with the limit of things you could do. There are a couple of objectives that you could complete throughout each round, and you could also explore around these regions and complete other small little side missions. But in my opinion, Outbreak felt like Treyarch were just scratching the surface of the potential for this mode, and by the end of Season 6, this mode was pretty fleshed out, but I feel like there is so much more potential here. And this is where my point begins of DMZ changing zombies forever. DMZ is pretty much a blueprint for what Treyarch could do for the future of Outbreak. Rather than having a medium-sized open world map where you have a small amount of missions to do, they could have the potential to open up the map to a massive size, and more importantly, have other real players present on the map, as well as your main team of 4, as well as hundreds of zombies roaming the map in real time at the same time. Transit back in Black Ops 2 was advertised as a open world map. Well, imagine if 12 years later that finally happened with zombies. Infinity Ward have already proven that with this engine which Treyarch are making the next Black Ops game on, that there can be a map as huge as Al Mazrah that can support up to 500 or 600 AI all on the map at one point. It would be easily doable for them to have the same amount of AI, but there to just be zombies. Now, obviously, I'm not a game developer, but to me, it just seems so painfully obvious that everything is there for them to literally put everything in Outbreak, but on the scale that we see in DMZ. And again, because this mode is clearly so successful and it's free to play, they're going to continue it on in the next game. We're likely to see a Black Ops themed version of DMZ. It would make even more sense for them to develop Outbreak 2 of how the open world works in DMZ. You can look at current world objectives in DMZ, like the commander helicopter that flies in, that could literally be replaced by anything that the Dark Ether wanted to spit at us. It could be something like the Origins robots or a Gorod Krovy dragon. And then what we currently have in DMZ, like the Chemist or Velikan, you could replace that with a new zombies boss fight or one from a previous zombies game that's there in in the dark ether. And for the Black Ops version of DMZ, instead of there being radiation that takes over the entire map, it could be something like dark ether energy that consumes the whole map, turning it into that dark purple. And that's not me even talking about Outbreak here. That's me just still talking about DMZ. There is just so much, and we're going to go into it in just a moment. But the thing that has proven why DMZ is so successful beyond it just being good is that it is free to play. And Outbreak was never a free to play mode. You needed to own Black Ops Cold War. They had some weekends where it was free, but just like with Blackout in Black Ops 4, that was never fully free to play. And that's why it never had the true success that those modes should have gotten. But I think for Treyarch to have a runaway success with their next game, a portion of the Zombies mode would have to be free. And I feel like Outbreak is perfect for that. And even more perfect is based around how DMZ works. Can you guys just imagine how popular Zombies on the next game would be if one of the modes, Outbreak, was free to play? Like, it was just completely separate from Black Ops 2024. You could play it without having to buy the game. I guarantee you there'll be so many people that probably played Zombies back during World at War and Black Ops and would never buy a full-priced Black Ops game nowadays for Zombies, but if there was a free-to-play Zombies mode, they would absolutely download it and try it out just for the curiosity of how they enjoyed Zombies back in the day. And then in turn, that will definitely convert some of those players into trying out the other parts of Zombies by buying the main game, and then they have access to round-based Zombies, then they can get into Easter eggs, and overall, I think it just be a really healthy thing for Zombies in the future. But obviously, at the forefront of Zombies, round-based is the most important thing. With all this talk about the future of Zombies and DMZ potentially molding that future, I think it's really important as well to realize that whatever happens with that and how crazy it could be, that is obviously not going to be the full focus of Zombies, because forefront is always going to be round based. It will be for the rest of time. And I know myself as well as every one of you guys watching want that to be Treyarch's main focus with Zombies in the next game, but with so much development time and of course the leak that Outbreak is obviously going to come back, we've got to discuss ways that they can improve Outbreak for when it does return. And I think it's a no-brainer that they just need to implement everything AI wise from Outbreak but into the scale of DMZ. Now when we look at DMZ, we're only a few months into it since its launch, but we currently have two maps to play on, Al Mazrah and Building 21. Now Building 21 has been created solely for DMZ, which is incredible, with its own storyline lore, which we will probably see more development on as DMZ progresses. And this is something absolutely fantastic, which we didn't see so much of with Outbreak. None of those maps were tailor-made for Zombies. They were multiplayer maps that they then just put the Zombies assets on. And for better or worse, that's what we got. But I think there's a lot more thought going into the DMZ experiences, and I definitely feel that with Treyarch's next game, that is going to be a thing they're going to focus on to make Outbreak feel like the environments are uniquely Zombies. At the end of the day, we're discussing hypothetical things that could happen for Call of Duty, which isn't going to happen for another year and 10 months. We are so far away from Treyarch's next game, but I feel the potential with DMZ and the doors that the mode is going to open for the future of Call of Duty is absolutely huge. I mean, take a look at the amount of people that are enjoying Warzone 2 in comparison to DMZ. There is a lot more people playing DMZ and enjoying that compared to Warzone 2. And that's kind of worrying, but it also says a lot about just how fresh and new that experience is for Call of Duty players, that they want that and they want more of it. But again, the blueprint is there with the way DMZ works to just completely replace all the AI soldiers with AI zombies, import a load of mechanics from Outbreak 1 and add some new things to spice it up, and you have an absolutely banging Outbreak 2 game mode. And then when there's recent talk of the Building 21 location being an Easter egg where potentially taking place in Verdansk after the nuke event, which happened because of a zombie outbreak, like, there is a great chance that at some point in the storyline with Building 21 and DMZ that zombies could be in Modern Warfare 2. And that in itself could be an amazing way to introduce Outbreak into the Modern Warfare 2 universe. And then Treyarch come along in 2024 with their next Black Ops game and revolutionize Outbreak with DMZ. It's a really long time away and none of this could even happen, but it's just really fun to talk about anyway. So let me know what you think down below in the comments section. Drop the video a like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.